Hey Wastelanders, this is Gary. I got the idea from watching RJ's Knives. He did an open tag. I think he was repeating the open tag from Patty's potato peelers. It was something like show us your small fixed blades. So I've showed this one before. I think I've shown all of these at one time or other. So this is the Eddy 2. It's made by Walkman, something like that, knife and tool. And this is a little fixed blade. And if I'll pull the buck out just for the hell of it, just to compare the knives, all the knives. So it's about the size, the blade's about the size of a buck 112 Ranger. So, you know, it's very small. It has an oversized handle, so it's a great little fixed blade that has a nice handle. You can grip all your, you can get all your fingers on there. So I often carry this one in the pocket, but I was planning on doing something with the handle, but I've never got around to it. I don't care if it's a pink handle. Anyway, let's put this one down and show you how it compares to the Buck 112. It's about the same size, so it's very small. The next one, I've had this a while. This is the Tops Knives. What's he call that? Street scalpel. So you can see the street scalpel. It's a touch bigger than this, but it's about the same in size in the handle. There's just a little bit more to the blade, but there's not really. I mean, if you count the sharpened edge, it's about the same. So. But this is a thick mamba jamba. Yeah, I like this knife. I carry this knife in my pocket too. When I got this knife, I had to work on the sheath and I had to make it a tighter fit. And it's very tight now. So I love this street scalpel. Let's push it off to the side. So the next one I'm going to show you guys is a self-reliant knife. It's SRK for short. It's called the it's called the LeBlanc, but it has red chili micarta scales. And I'll show you another one that has micarta scales, but it's a little bit different. If you could see, look at this. This is more of like a slick scales, but it's micarta and it's red chili. And this blade, I can't remember the steel, but it's a, I'll put that out on the screen, the steel. It's like an LCN 200. I think it's a super stainless steel, super rust-proof steel. And it's super thin. It's super slicey. It's a flat grind. And let's see how it compares to the Buck 110. So it's a little bit, this is my biggest blade so far of my small knives, you know, so far on the table. But I still consider it a small knife. I still pocket it in the sheath. It comes with a Kydex sheath. Next one is the Just In Case Tactical, and I didn't know if I should include this one because it's big, but it's still a small blade in consideration of like all my bigger fixed blades. It's small. Comes with a Kydex and a clip. So this is it's called the M2 Nessmuk. And it's not really a Nessmuk blade, but that's the name. So you can see it's by Just In Case Tactical, and you can find them on, I believe you can find them on Instagram along with SRK. self-reliant knives, look up self-reliant knives, and look up tactical, just in case tactical on Instagram. So if I didn't say that. I don't remember what the steel is. It's a carbon steel, but I don't offhand. I don't remember right now. If I look it up, I'll put it down there on the screen. So you can see how it compares to the buck. Yeah, it's the same handle size, just a little bit bigger. So it's bigger than. Oh, it's about the same size. Yeah. Okay. About the same size. All right. But it has a little handle, and I added a lanyard to it. I can slip my wrist through there and get a extra safety grip on the. I tied it with a diamond knot on the end. So next up is a knife from Jered White. This is the Jered White Woodsman, and this is a Kydex sheath I bought for some other knife, and I formed it to fit the Woodsman. So it's kind of a chili color red Kydex. So this is the Jered White Woodsman, and I don't know what steel is, but it's a carbon steel again, but it's a stonewash steel, and I've used this quite a bit. It's held up because it's stonewash. It hasn't so far scratched, and the micarta is a little worn in, but it's not bad. It's held up. It used to be lighter in color, and it's started taking my hand sweat into the scales. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a tan micarta. So you can see how this compares to this. Yeah, it's about the same size as this knife and this knife, just a little bit more belly to it. And so weirdly enough, I don't consider this a small blade, but I don't pocket this, and I don't pocket this either. So these three I pocket all the time, but I had to include them. It's much smaller than all my other blades, or my larger fixed blades. So a knife that I have yet to really break in. I've carried it around my neck sometimes. This is a Mora knife, and it qualifies as a small knife. It's called the Eldris, and you can see how it's very small. But I like it. I mean, I think if I ever successfully do some outdoor camping, but I always said to myself, I'm gonna take this knife along. So this is a small knife. And this next up is a GEC knife, and it doesn't have a name. I don't believe it has a name. It's H218 GEC. It's just a little small Wharncliffe blade, a little Warney. You can see it's a GEC name, or GEC knife, and I believe, Great Eastern Cutlery, I believe it was $35 to $45. I don't quite remember, but I picked this up, and it didn't come with a sheath. You can see it's practically smaller than the Buck 112 in the handle. But it has a blade that's size of the. Okay. And lastly, I'm getting long-winded. This is another Jered White knife I picked up, and I use this knife, the GEC, and this Jered White knife. The sheath fits both of them, so I use it interchangeably. But the sheath came with the Jered White knife, so, It's a nice leather sheath. I don't remember where he got it made, but you can see the logo, the maker. And let me pull this out. This is called the Jesse Rose Merlin. And what I like about this is the red chili micarta scales. So I was saying the SRK, these are chili micarta and this is chili micarta, but there's a different texture. This is more smooth and this is more textured. So often I don't carry this often. Well, I carry it, I EDC it, but I've never used it hardcore, other than cutting boxes or opening envelopes or what have you. But it doesn't take on my oils on the skin because I haven't, used it enough. I use this one a lot. So you could see some of my videos where I mineral oiled the scales, and they turn it a richer, darker red. So I've not used it in a while, and it kind of dried out. So it's not as red as it usually is. It really looks pretty when you soak some mineral oil in that, or if you have sweaty hands. Anyway, what I like about this knife, if I didn't say it, has a high hollow grind. This is a hollow grind. If you probably can barely tell, but it's a hollow grind blade, and it's very small. It's the same size as this, but still, it's one of my smaller knives. So you can see it's about the same size as this. I often carry them both or interchange them both in that leather sheath I was showing you. But this is one of my favorite knives. I just think it's a beautiful knife. I think Jesse Rose knocked it out of the park. I love it. I believe he's working on a Merlin 2, that's much bigger, maybe the size of the Woodsman or even bigger. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this video because it's been going longer than I wanted. So if you sport some little small fixed blades, or just feel free to keep the open tag rolling and show us your small fixed blades. Take care, Wastelanders.